I declare open this graduation ceremony. Please be seated. Friends, colleagues, and most importantly, graduating students, I'm absolutely delighted to welcome you to our Ulster University graduation ceremony. Let me begin by offering my warmest congratulations to you, our graduates. It's a momentous personal milestone for each of you and represents the culmination of your dedicated study, effort, determination, and commitment. I hope that it has been an invaluable experience and that you carry it with you for the rest of your lives. It's a time of great pride for your family and friends who, no doubt, have supported you along this journey and may also be here with you today to celebrate. It's also a time of great joy for the lecturers, technicians, professional service teams, and all of the staff at the university who have contributed to your learning, to your experience, and your life as a student at Ulster. All of that means that the graduation ceremony is the most significant and special time of the university year. I'd like to start by, this is a celebration after all, asking you all to celebrate the success, but I'd like you to start by thanking all of those family and friends that are around here with you today. So if I'd like to invite our graduates to stand and offer a round of applause to your family and friends who've supported you through this process to get you here today. That was very calm and sedate. I expect it to get a bit louder as the afternoon goes on. It's certainly a privilege to be with you today as we celebrate and mark the culmination of your academic journey so far. When we welcome new students to Ulster University, we tell them that you're going to join a vibrant student community where there are new friendships to be developed, ideas to be shared, thinking to be challenged, opportunities to be explored, and memories to be made. As I look around this room today, I know that will tell you is absolutely true. I see the results of your learning and research, of challenging yourself, and of the hard work and effort you have put in. I also see the strength of the friendships and bonds that have been made through your shared experiences here at Ulster University. I hope you will agree with me that these are some of the most important things that you will take away from your time at Ulster University. But just as importantly, I hope you all take away a strong belief in yourselves and in what you can accomplish. Remain open to the shifts and changes that will necessarily shape your lives, and what looks like an ending today may actually be the start of a new beginning. Take the optimism and confidence of today, the effort and hard work it took you to get here, and harness them into your dreams and ambitions for the future. Be bold, be brave, be determined, believe. As Sheryl Sandberg, activist, author, and chief operating officer of Facebook put it, being confident and believing in your own self-worth is necessary in achieving your potential. Your study and your time at Ulster University have given you the knowledge and skills to take the next step in your career, whatever that may be, and to fulfill your potential. Regardless of your subject area, you are the disruptive innovators, the critical thinkers, the problem solvers, the analysts, the entrepreneurs, and the visionaries who will have such an influence on the future of our society. Ulster University prides itself on being Northern Ireland's civic university, and our mission is to have a positive impact on the world around us, locally and globally, in every area of our work. As our beating heart, you, our students, and now our alumni, give life to this mission. Take with you the values and attitudes that will have been a crucial part of your university education here, and I trust that Ulster University has made an important and positive difference in your life. We have worked to demonstrate to you our vision and our values. We hope that you will now use what you have learned to make a difference in the lives of others. This is particularly true in these times of significant political and economic challenge, not least here in Northern Ireland. And I know it may sound very grandiose and burdensome even, but I can assure you it is not. You have the experience all that a university has to offer and are about to explore some of the many possibilities that it can open up for you. I would simply challenge you to do your own thing in your own way, to be out of the box and acknowledge the value and power of being unorthodox. I'm sure all of you grew up with Dr. Seuss, and it might seem a bit odd referencing a childhood memory on this, our graduation day. However, sometimes it is necessary to go back to basics, and no one says it quite so simply as Dr. Seuss. So, you have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes, you can steer yourself in any direction you choose. And in whatever direction you choose, you are the civic ambassadors, shining examples of the power of education. You understand the benefits it can bring. You now have the skills to shape your industry, your community, and your future. But you're not on your own. You're part of a vibrant, welcoming, and supportive and inspiring alumni community. In fact, today, the community will reach a very significant milestone. This afternoon, in this graduation, we will graduate the 200,000th Ulster University student. A fantastic testimony to the commitment of Ulster has to higher education and to the impact it has on the world around us. And although it's a large, our community can also help be more than just a community. It is a family. And like many families, it is spread all over the world, and we always look to welcoming you back to visitors. We are committed to staying in touch with you and to encourage you in all that you do. And of course, we want to keep up to date with how you are getting on, and we want to celebrate with you your successes during your career and your life. But we also want to continue to provide with you opportunities for partnerships, for collaborations, and indeed to inspire those who will follow you through the corridors of Ulster University. You leave behind a legacy for them, a legacy of success and accomplishment will empower them and their ability to achieve. That can be the wider society, so that can be the value to wider society of the experience and qualification that you gain today. Each of you graduating today has the opportunity to make a real impact, to make use of your talent and skill to influence and transform whatever sector or career you choose. Barack Obama said the future belongs to young people with an education and the imagination to create. Well, you have the education, you have the imagination, and we cannot wait to see what you will go on to create. The future is yours, and it starts today. Thank you. In accordance with the wishes of the Senate, and by virtue of the authority vested in me, I have conferred honorary degrees, and other academic distinctions of the University of Ulster on those named in the conferment list approved by the Senate. I now call upon Professor Moore to present the Right Honourable the Lord Hall for the honorary degree of the Doctor of Letters.
Vice-Chancellor, given Ulster's research links with the BBC, and most recently through the formal partnership developed as part of the Arts and Humanities Research Council Creative Industries Cluster Initiative, it's an honour to present Tony Hall, Baron Hall of Birkenhead. It's also a privilege because it's not often one has the opportunity to publicly thank the man who looks after and cares for your favourite auntie. Like all favourite aunts, however, who have become national institutions, the BBC has lived long, is more complex than we often imagine, and can, at times, be extremely difficult. It is comforting to know that with Lord Hall, she will be guided through the most difficult of times, and times are indeed difficult for public service broadcasting organisations. Economic pressures, the complexity of the competition, the proliferation of broadcast platforms and the ubiquity of social media, plus the advent of individually focused narrowcasting, all threaten the place of the national broadcaster in the public imagination. Yet, in these times of fake news, societal fragmentation and public anxiety, the role of the public service broadcaster becomes even more important. It is through the BBC that the agenda for national debate is framed, and each day it must act as the barometer for and the prism through which the cultural life and values of the nation are filtered and represented. Few are better equipped than Lord Hall to lead this process. The first Director General of the BBC, Lord Reith, maintained that it was the duty of the BBC to inform, educate and entertain. These aspirations still resonate today and are the perfect vehicle through which to examine the importance of Lord Tony Hall to broadcasting in the UK. Lord Hall's media career was built on a desire to inform the public audience. He joined the BBC in 1973 as a trainee, I am proud to say, in the Belfast newsroom, cutting his editorial teeth as many did on the troubled streets of the city. He would eventually work on the Today, World at One and the World Tonight programmes before becoming editor of the 9 o'clock news when only 34. He went on to become director of BBC News and Current Affairs Television in 1990, director of News 1993 and head of Current Affairs in 1996, a role he held until 2001. He was deputy chairman of Channel 4 and has been Director General of the BBC since April 2013. Amongst a number of key achievements, he was responsible for setting up BBC Radio 5. The BBC's imperative to inform is personified in the career of Lord Tony Hall. We who are involved in formal education often forget that much of the best learning takes place in informal settings. It's no surprise to learn that Lord Hall read philosophy, politics and economics while a student at Keble College, Oxford, an indication of the polymath grounding one needs to prosper in a contemporary mediascape. Lord Hall has continued to support education, whether as chair of Creative and Cultural Skills, helping to develop formal creative apprenticeships, whether as chair of the Royal Television Society, as a board member of a range of key policy bodies, for example, the British Council, or as a council member for leading universities engaged in media education. He holds honorary degrees from Goldsmiths, Birmingham City University, and his alma mater, Keble College. And in 2010, the Chartered Management Institute awarded him the Gold Medal for Outstanding Achievement. In his spare time, he also managed to write, publishing books on issues such as Britain's industrial future and nuclear power. Clearly, education is at the heart of what Lord Tony does and believes. But as Director General of the BBC, Lord Hall also knows the importance of entertainment in sustaining the cultural value of the UK's creative economy. Long before it became the mantra of the creative industries, Lord Tony Hall understood the need to bring science, engineering and arts together in groundbreaking projects, driving the introduction of new digital technologies in the entertainment space. His understanding of the role of new and disruptive technologies, such as virtual and augmented reality and artificial intelligence, which are driving the so-called Fourth Industrial Revolution, will be vital in ensuring the BBC can lead the mainstreaming of these technologies and, most importantly, prepare the audience so that they control the technologies rather than being controlled by them. In April 2001, he was appointed Chief Executive of the Royal Opera House and is a trustee of the Paul Hamlyn Trust, leading initiatives designed to widen access to performance through the introduction of matinees and low-price ticket schemes. In 2009, at the government's request, he set up and chaired a board directing the Cultural Olympiad and was a member of the organising committee for the London Olympic Games. My favourite story of Lord Hall, however, and an indication of the bizarre risks involved in being Director General of the BBC, is that in 2015, having negotiated the dangerous topography of Belfast in the 1970s, he was confronted with a number of what the police called credible threats for failing to renew the contract of Top Gear presenter Jeremy Clarkson, an act for which many thought he actually should have received a knighthood. This story epitomizes the impossibility of pleasing all of the people, all of the time. But in Tony Hall, the BBC has a leader with the experience, skills and qualifications to please most of the people, most of the time. So when you open the doors of the television tomorrow morning to start the day with your favourite auntie, be assured that Lord Reith's plea that the BBC should inform, educate and entertain is safe in the hands of Tony Hall, Baron Hall of Birkenhead. Vice-Chancellor, I present Tony Hall, Baron Hall of Birkenhead, for the degree of Doctor of Letters, honoris causa.
Anthony William Hall, in the name of the Senate, I present to you the degree of Doctor of Letters, honoris causa. I now call upon Dr. Dobson to present Michael Andrew Boyd for the First Trust Bank Ulster University Distinguished Graduate Award.
Vice-Chancellor. Michael Boyd was born and bred in East Belfast, growing up during the 1980s when live football on television was in short supply. His mother, Dr. Jacqueline Granleys, was, and remains, his biggest inspirational figure in life, raising Michael and his three brothers single-handed while she studied at our Jordanstown campus. The oval ball quickly found its way into Michael's world as a P5 pupil, but it was the long summer of 1986 and the FIFA World Cup in Mexico where his passion for football really began. Northern Ireland qualified yet again to play on the world stage, and a young Diego Maradona set the world alight, and Michael's passion for football followed pretty quickly. Michael's journey with Ulster University began in 1996 when he started a BA Honours Sport and Leisure Studies, graduating in 1999. He later went on to study an MSc in Advertising, Communication and Public Relations in 2001, and an advanced diploma in Management Practice in 2005. And he tells me that he aspires to do a PhD. Michael is currently Director of Football Development at the Irish Football Association, the IFA. He started his work with the IFA when he went on his placement year as part of his undergraduate degree at Ulster. He was the youngest ever European A-licensed coach and has been a member of the IFA strategic leadership team since 2004. It was during early 2004 that I first met Michael and quickly began to understand the great work he was doing at the Irish FA. His passion and enthusiasm to use the power of sport and the power of football for social good, together with his big warm smile and his determination to succeed, ticked all the boxes for me. Before too long, we found ourselves on a 10-day university football club tour to China. As we all know, what goes on tour stays on tour. But it was safe to say that Michael was the glue that brought us all together during our undefeated trip. Michael, much to his own disgust, was not allowed to score during one of our games. It was 40 degrees, it was 12 o'clock at lunchtime, and it was an 80,000 stadium. Mal Donaghy was playing centre-back, Michael was playing centre-forward. It was a game at which we were under strict instructions from the local Communist Party not to win. During his early period at the IFA, Michael created and led an international award-winning Football for All campaign, which transformed Northern Irish football. In 2012 and 2013, both UEFA and the special EU programme bodies selected Football for All to represent Northern Ireland at a major CSR and peace conference in Sarajevo and Brussels, respectively. So, with 17 years of experience leading in community relations and football development today, Michael's work includes the Elite Women's Programme, based at our Jordanstown campus, increasing women's and girls' participation in football, disability football, grassroots, schools development, refereeing and futsal. He has secured millions of pounds in EU funding to develop football in schools across the country, and his latest initiative, Let Them Play, has seen youth participation in football double across the province from around 35,000 to nearly 80,000 in 2018. Michael's vision, his drive, have developed the IFA Community Relations Department from one-man operation in 2001 into a team of 80 full-time staff, 250 part-time staff, and 120 volunteers, again securing millions of pounds to support this sport and trust with funders and community partners. He is the founder of Northern Ireland World Football Forum and until recently chairman of Street Soccer NI. He also coaches and volunteers in Northern Ireland men and women's homeless teams. So, it is without doubt that Michael has distinguished himself as an inspirational and transformational leader who drives change, possesses superb management, organization, and communication skills. He has devised, inspired, and led award-winning projects and strategies to tackle sectarianism in Northern Ireland game, and has made a great difference across sport overall, and not least with his work with the Ulster Council, GAA, Ulster Rugby, and Ulster Hockey in particular. Michael is also a devoted family man, and it's lovely not only to welcome his mum, Jacqueline, here today, but also his beautiful wife, Kathy, and brothers Daniel and David. I know, Michael, you're really proud of your beautiful wife and your beautiful daughters. So today, recognizing and celebrating Michael Boyd, a transformational leader for sport, particularly in Northern Ireland, and there is no doubt he provides an excellent role model to you, our students graduating here today. I believe it's his passion, it's his drive, alongside his organizational leadership success that clearly connects his values with the values of Ulster University. Described by Adrian Logan of the Belfast Telegraph and UTV as the man who changed the face of Northern Ireland football. Vice-Chancellor, in the name of the Senate, I present alumnus Michael Andrew Boyd for the First Trust Bank Ulster University Distinguished Graduate Award.
Michael Andrew Boyd, in the name of the Senate, I present to you the First Trust Bank Ulster University Distinguished Graduate Award. I now call upon Professor Murphy, Dean of the Doctoral College, to present PhD candidates for the Faculty of Arts, Humanities and Social Sciences.
Vice-Chancellor, in the name of Senate, I present to you candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Alfred Barbaya Noria. Frederica Di Bacco. Nazli Kazanoglu. Dara McGill. Matthew John Milliken.
I now call upon Professor Fee, Associate Dean of the Faculty of Arts, Humanities and Social Sciences, to present candidates.
Vice-Chancellor, in the name of the Senate, I present to you candidates for the degree of Master of Arts in Cultural Heritage and Museum Studies. Michael Paul Robert Fryer. Chloe Jameson. Claire Marley. Holly Bishop. Martina Boyson. Orla Caldwell. Lisa Duggan. Rebecca Laverty. The degree of Master of Arts in Modern Irish. Anya Marie Eneel. the degree of Master of Education in Education, Rosie Smith. Michael Lyons. The degree of Master of Laws in Access to Justice, Sasha Jane Gillespie. Natalie Louise Hayes. Lindsay Rita Gavin Williams. Judy Rigney. Romizella Torres Augusto Ferreira. Connor Podrick Moylan. The degree of Master of Laws in Gender, Conflict and Human Rights, Narissa Cheryl Morales Cordoba. Emma Louise Osborne. Emma Fallon. Sinead Magner. Asha Eileen O'Reilly. David Devlin. Shan Hurricane. Ashton McKernan. Diana Nakawisa. The degree of Master of Laws in Human Rights Law and Transitional Justice, Veronica Bellantani. Francis McCourt. Kira Timoni. Emer Sarah Carlin. Mariana Higgins. Jeglin McConville. Lynn Mbeti Machuku. Roisin Stampton. The degree of Master of Public Administration in Public Sector Executive Development, Mary Coulter. Dawn Gamble. John McEntee. Karen Mills. Mairead McGilloway. The degree of Master of Science in Communication and Public Relations, Sylvia Bajlova. Emma Fiona Cantney. Brona Kelly. Emma McGee. Olivia McAleenan. Courtney Mercer. Nicola Abernethy. Louise Harvey. Catherine Ann Leonard. Lindsay Miller. Nadia Milliken. Hannah Alexandra Moore. John James Murphy. Andrew O'Keefe. Rebecca Tullen. Hannah Burton. The degree of Master of Science in Counselling Studies and Therapeutic Communication, Kimberly Ann Boyle. Janice Esther Hutchinson. Georgina Ann Morrison. Emer Loughran. Rita Mulvena. Deborah Octor Campbell. Nadine Quigley. Wendy Stevenson. Orla Mary Docherty. The degree of Master of Science in Digital Media Communication, Caroline Bowers. Avril Margaret Ann Fox. Lorna McGivern. Emma Callahan. Gareth Anthony Heaney. Michael Johnston. Pamela Heather McCafferty. Fabio Cristiano. Shane Delargy. Martin Henry Murta. The degree of Master of Science in English Language and Linguistics, Iman Abdulrahman Al-Harabi. Samantha Finlay. Mark Michel Olivier. Abdullah Abdul Al-Shamrani. The degree of Master of Science in Peace and Conflict Studies, Timothy Kalam. Kim McCallum. Niall McGoran. Benedict Christensen. Mel Anthony McConville. Antoine O'Finnegan. Alex Proudfoot. Colleen Docherty. Caroline Kelly. The degree of Master of Science in Professional Development in Social Work, Elaine Pollock. The degree of Master of Science in Restorative Practices, Laura Jane Guiney. The Postgraduate Diploma in Communication and Public Relations, Jordan Thomas Spry. The Postgraduate Diploma in Counselling Studies and Therapeutic Communication, Kirk David Ivan Dennison. The Postgraduate Diploma in Cultural Heritage and Museum Studies, Shannon McGaffin. The Postgraduate Diploma in Professional Development and Social Work, Tracy Sproul. Philip Tier. The Postgraduate Diploma in Public Administration, Frederick Joseph Harris. The Postgraduate Diploma in Restorative Practices, David Joseph Price. The Postgraduate Certificate in Counselling Studies and Therapeutic Communication, Megan Maxwell. The Postgraduate Certificate in Public Sector Executive Development, Yvonne Mary Curran. Carol Ann McCabe. Karen Georgina Tushingham. The degree of Bachelor of Arts with Honours in Ceramics, Jewellery and Silversmithing, Suzanne Mackenzie. Anya McCann. Emily Mullen. The degree of Bachelor of Arts with Honours in Fine Art, Shannon O'Kane. The degree of Bachelor of Arts with Honours in Irish Language and Literature, Jean O'Neill. The degree of Bachelor of Design with Honours in Interior Design and Diploma in International Academic Studies, Anne Grace Hamilton. The degree of Bachelor of Design with Honours in Graphic Design and Illustration and Diploma in Professional Practice, Sarah Duffy. The degree of Bachelor of Design with Honours in Interior Design and Diploma in Professional Practice, Turner James Marlowe. The degree of Bachelor of Design with Honours in Interaction Design, Ryan McElwain. The degree of Bachelor of Design with Honours in Interior Design, Nicole Burgee. Rachel Hart. The degree of Bachelor of Laws with Honours in Law, Timothy Allen Hedgley. Catherine Elizabeth Hughes. Gareth John Jenkins. Cléna McGee. Gareth Henry Tucker. The degree of Bachelor of Laws with Honours in Law with Criminology, Niamh Bell. Niamh McCluskey. David Patterson. The degree of Bachelor of Science with Honours in Communication, Advertising and Marketing and Diploma in Professional Practice, Hannah Rebecca Martin. The degree of Bachelor of Science with Honours in Public Relations and Diploma in Professional Practice, Niamh McNally. The degree of Bachelor of Science with Honours in Community Development, Tracy Kane. The degree of Bachelor of Science with Honours in Community Youth Work, Claire McHugh. The degree of Bachelor of Science with Honours in Criminology and Criminal Justice, Nicole Carey. Jie Cheng Sun. Matthew Madeline. The degree of Bachelor of Science with Honours in Politics, Ryan Creaney. Chris Edwards. The degree of Bachelor of Science with Honours in Politics with Criminology, Ailish Mairead Millen. Katie Jane Russell. The degree of Bachelor of Science with Honours in Social Policy with Criminology, Naomi Smith. Vice-Chancellor, this concludes the presentation of candidates from the Faculty of Arts, Humanities and Social Sciences.
I now call upon Professor Murphy, Dean of the Doctoral College, to present candidates for the Faculty of Life and Health Sciences.
Vice-Chancellor, in the name of Senate, I present to you candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Published Work, Elizabeth Ann Turner. The degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Olivia Mary Elizabeth Gray. Anne Elizabeth Johnson. Laura McLaughlin. Muat Ibrahim Mustafa Tanash.
I now call upon Professor Carol Curran, Executive Dean of the Faculty of Life and Health Sciences, to present candidates.
Vice-Chancellor, in the name of the Senate, I present to you candidates for the degree of Master of Science in Advancing Practice, Joanna Moore. Lorraine Maria McMahon. Grania Mary Forsyth. The degree of Master of Science in Developing Practice in Healthcare, Eamon Farrell. Fiona Grogan. Sheila Teresa Nevin. The degree of Master of Science in Health Promotion and Public Health, Katie Ann Blair. Laura Maeve O'Rourke. Sinead Sutton. Beth Eileen Glenn. Anna Rose McCambridge. The degree of Master of Science in Nursing, Lorraine McGlinchey. Michelle Ann Murray. Chimano Michael Mishapo. Roisin Scullion. Wei Fun Wong. The degree of Master of Science in Physical Activity and Public Health, Laura Claire Beattie. Connor Sean Grogan. The degree of Master of Science in Professional Development and Occupational Therapy, Ellen Bailey. Grace Adayinka. The degree of Master of Science in Sensory Integration, Emer Broderick. Janie Lavery. Aideen Rutledge. The degree of Master of Science in Sport and Exercise Medicine, Lorna Mary Flanagan. Kelly Fox. Emily Gaffney. Emer Gallen. Ed King. Ian Charles Francis McElfatrick. Katrina Louise Sloan. Saeed Nasser Mohammed Al-Shanri. Connor Blee. The degree of Master of Science in Sport and Exercise Nutrition, Justin Connor Kelly. Catherine Ellen Ewing. James Gallagher. Melissa Marie Irvine. Danielle Tamara Neal. Nina Antoinette Singaron. Aidan Joseph Wall. Jonathan Mark Wiley. Seechit Long. The degree of Master of Science in Sport and Exercise Psychology, Shannon Nora Burke. Samantha Cook. Terry Conroy. Matthew Aubrey Johnston. Tara Jane Malcolmson. Connor McGowan. Kelsey Nolan. Edward Gerard Sheikey. Sam Robert Wright. Gerard Michael Breslin. Rebecca Foreman. The degree of Master of Science in Sports Coaching, Liam Gerard. Gemma Brown. Mark Copeland. Jessica Hassan. Emma McKay. Brendan Vodekin. The Postgraduate Diploma in Advancing Practice, Elaine McShane. The Postgraduate Diploma in Developing Practice in Healthcare, Eleanor Welsh. Jacqueline Rafferty. The postgraduate diploma in specialist community public health nursing, Carolyn Margaret Gill. Tina Allen. Nicola Arnott. Josephine Louise Gibson. Shan Jade Johnston. Linda Grace McGuinness. Joanna Elizabeth Martin. Claire Miskelly. Emma Pryor. Kira Patricia Carlin. Maeve Cawley. Shannon Julia Corbett. Danielle Catherine Curry. Fiona Patricia Heffron. Alison Ann Keys. Aoife Catherine Martin. The postgraduate diploma in specialist nursing, Laura Dixon. Jinsey Labadi. Laura McClintock. Victoria Ann McCrory. Bridgine Tohill. Charlene Amanda Young. Catherine Ann Bailey. Susan Patricia Geraldine Boyle. Angela Brown. Wendy Canders. Claire Clark. Gemma Conway. Emma Jane Crozier. Lida Cunningham. Lisa Naomi Davies. Emma Louise Fagan. Ursula Heaney. Samantha Claire Holmes. Karina Mary Lavery. Kathy Monaghan. Gabrielle Smith. Sarah McGee. Lorna Ann Reid. Leah Smith. The postgraduate diploma in specialist nursing practice, Leanne Marie Devlin. The postgraduate diploma in sport and exercise psychology, Luke Gale. The postgraduate certificate in advancing practice, Nicola Claire Clark. The postgraduate certificate in developing practice in healthcare, John Wesley McKinty. The postgraduate certificate in non-medical prescribing, Pauline Tracy Daphne Ashfield. Roisin Dorian. Rhonda Elizabeth Evans Gorman. Gail Martin. Vivian Wilma Murdoch. Lauren Neve Ash. Jennifer Sarita Barclay. Stephen Henry James Baxter. Kelly Ferguson. Brian Gillespie. Danielle McCartan. Orla Morgan. The degree of Bachelor of Science with Honours in Sport and Exercise Science and Diploma in Professional Practice, Michaela Campbell. Tarnjeet Mataru. Lisa McGuigan. Simon McSparran. Lee Jill Robb. The degree of Bachelor of Science with Honours in Developing Practice in Healthcare, Carolyn Locke. The degree of Bachelor of Science with Honours in Diagnostic Radiography and Imaging, Rosaline Dolan. Nuala Murphy. The degree of Bachelor of Science with Honours in Health Physiology, Lauren Brace. Rebecca Cable. Kiva Calders. Paul McMenemy. The degree of Bachelor of Science with Honours in Healthcare Science, Respiratory and Sleep Physiology, Marisa Anastasia Delaney. The degree of Bachelor of Science with Honours in Occupational Therapy, Claire Kennedy. Ciara Downey. Sheena Duffy. Megan Hayes. Taylor Emma Reddick. Kevin Shearer. Rachel Kennedy. Tara McCool. Kiva Marie McLaughlin. Kieran Reevey. The degree of Bachelor of Science with Honours in Physiotherapy, Jonathan Courtney. Christopher Peterson. The degree of Bachelor of Science with Honours in Podiatry, Molly McCauley. Joel James Lowe. The degree of Bachelor of Science with Honours in Radiotherapy and Oncology, Melanie Louise Edgar. Cleona O'Neill. The degree of Bachelor of Science with Honours in Specialist Community Public Health Nursing, Tanya McMullen. Laura Ann Sharkey. Dana Marie Murphy. The degree of Bachelor of Science with Honours in Specialist Nursing, Julie Mita Sharon Kincaid. Patricia Elaine McGill. Katrina Albarico. Maria Cullen. Helen Gormley. Maria Hamill. Tiffany McCartan. Louise O'Neill. The degree of Bachelor of Science with Honours in Sport and Exercise Sciences, Jonathan Brownlow. Kieran Clockerty. Shona Costello. Gareth Hillen. Corey McCulloch. Jennifer McDaid. Mark McCarvey. Jennifer Smith. Mark Dillon. The Advanced Certificate in Non-Medical Prescribing, Susan Margaret Louise Campbell. Glenn Wesley Cartmill. Colin David Williamson. Lisa Karen Goodwin. Vice-Chancellor, this concludes the presentation of candidates from the Faculty of Life and Health Sciences.
Thank you, Professors Curran, Murphy and Fee, for presenting candidates. I'd like to now call upon our honorary graduate, the Lord Hall, to address the congregation on behalf of those who have been presented.
Vice-Chancellor, members of Council and Senate, graduates and recipients of awards, relatives and friends. I'm delighted, honoured actually, to have the opportunity to join you here today as a fellow graduate, and I'm really proud to be awarded this honorary degree of Doctor of Letters. You've all worked so very hard, and I guess I'm just very, very lucky. I'd also like to thank the Vice-Chancellor and the whole team here for everything they've done to make this day so very special, I hope, for all of us. I was last in Belfast a couple of weeks ago at a building near here, the BT building just round the corner, to see the team shooting season 5 of Line of Duty, to meet and drop in on Superintendent Ted Hastings, brilliantly played by Adrian Dunbar, to be arrested by part of his team, a joke, the photograph looks great, however, and to talk to them about the making of Line of Duty and how exciting it is. And I have to say, if I'm allowed a little ad, it promises to be the very best season yet when it actually shows. But what it says to me about the BBC, but also about the creative economy in Northern Ireland, is that it's booming. And I'm very, very glad indeed that we're playing our part in that, with dramas like Death and Nightingales with Jamie Dornan and Mrs. Wilson, which finishes tomorrow night, all coming from here, thanks to a very, very successful partnership with Northern Ireland Screen. And you all know the impact that's having on jobs and the creative economy here. We're very honoured too to be partnering with Ulster University, because you're helping to nurture the kind of creative talent we need to create more and more opportunities. I'm especially proud too because here in Northern Ireland, as was said earlier on, is where I began my career. This was my first job as a BBC News trainee, and I don't need to tell anyone here what a furiously difficult landscape it was to navigate as a young reporter-producer in a period that to most of you must seem like ancient history. I learnt a vast amount in my time here, lessons in journalism that have helped steer my entire career and still guide me every day. We had to keep a clear eye on the emotions, the opinions, the competing perspectives that came at us from all sides, the knowledge that if you brought out a camera, stuff might happen, and crucially, on the facts. And these were the touchstones by which we could tell if we were genuinely doing our reporter's job. And I think what we all learned, the BBC learned at that time in Belfast, runs right the way through now to how we set our standards and our guidelines for our journalism. This was the fulcrum for the standards the BBC, this place, for what the BBC standards the BBC stands for. Being here also brought home a feeling I've had my whole life, that everybody has the right to opportunity. Growing up, I was given chances my parents simply didn't have. I was the first person in my family to go to university, so I know firsthand what opportunity can do. And it opened up, for me, a world of arts and music, and I've never looked back. But it's also that upbringing that makes me profoundly believe that culture and the arts, broadcasting, the BBC should be for everybody. The best should be for all. And it's informed my approach to creativity, to leadership ever since, and indeed to my whole career. That's why, whether it's at the BBC or at the Royal Opera House or running the cultural festival around the Olympic Games in 2012, I've always put the accent on opportunity for people, for all, and enabling people to give of their best. And that also means an opportunity to develop and to deliver on skills. One thing I'm proud of to this day was the way we recast how we made opera in my time at the Royal Opera House. We moved our workshops, where you make sets and backcloths and all those sort of things. I mean, it's wonderful to see these things being made, to a place called Thurrock in the Thames Gateway. Now, a place more distant from opera, ballet, and indeed Covent Garden you couldn't imagine. But when we opened these workshops, and we had lots of local apprentices there as well, the community marked the occasion with their own opera, their own story set to music. They'd never done anything like this before. There were well over 100 people, some in their teens, some in their 70s, and they formed their own, what they called, Royal Opera House Thurrock Community Chorus, and continue singing to this day. Opportunity somewhere where you would not have dreamed of it before that particular intervention. And I think there's a huge appetite for arts, music, and culture more broadly in this country. If you could remember back to 2012, there was an artist there called Martin Creed, who, for the Olympics, got everyone to ring a bell. Now, some people thought this was bonkers. Would people actually ring a bell, any bell? For 3 minutes at precisely 8:12 on the day the Games opened. But millions and millions of people did. Or if you go forward to the commemoration of the First World War, and Jeremy Dunner's extraordinary achievement, We're Here Because We're Here, which, if any of you caught this, this was men dressed as army regulars of the time, handing out cards to people in unusual places like railway stations, but the cards simply had on the name of somebody who had been killed in the First World War. Put all these sort of things together, and to my mind, it's bringing millions and millions of people joining in because people want to be a part of something, not just passive consumers. And that's also what the arts and music and culture, I think, can do. It's a testament to something I believe very strongly in, and that's partnership. Working together with others means we can create extraordinary moments that none of us could do by working on our own. And that's why I think getting people to work together the best of everyone. And here's just one example that's very close to my heart. We have a program called 10 Pieces with one simple idea at its heart: to introduce every primary child in the country, primary school child in the country, to 10 great pieces of classical music. We all hope that will inspire them to listen to more, or maybe take up an instrument or sing or something like that. And we're going to launch another program in that sequence next year. But it's every child's right to have that part, I believe, of the music canon opened up to them. If they reject it, never mind they reject it, but at least they've had a chance. Or it could be getting people to work together well within an organisation. At the BBC, we've got amazing people in design and engineering. We've got people working as creative storytellers. We've got marketeers. We've got finance people, comms experts, all manner of specialisms. How do they come together to do great things? Because only great things will happen when they all work together. When I go out and visit sets, which I love doing, to see the creative process actually happening in broadcasting, or when I used to stand in the wings at Covent Garden watching singers and dancers getting the applause, you know, and they also know, that behind them are all sorts of talented people who help to make it all happen. Without them, nothing would happen. And getting teams to work together in that way, I think, is crucial. Whatever sort of career you decide to pursue, think about the ideals that matter to you, in my view. Think about the principles that you want to be your guide, because they are what will see you through the tough times, but they'll also define your success in the good. I'm sure on a day of celebration like this is for you. You don't want to hear advice from somebody like me, but nonetheless, I'll say 3 things. First of all, whatever you do, and I wish you well, do something you're passionate about. The commitment I see in various organisations I've been working in, from the Olympics to the BBC to the Royal Opera House to other places as well, that passion is infectious and it matters because you feel you're doing something you believe in and is worthwhile. Second is the power of yes. I remember in the middle of trying to pull together the Cultural Olympics, someone coming up with a mad, possibly brilliant idea of illuminating the whole of Hadrian's Wall from east to west. It'd be so easy to say no, but we didn't. It meant getting permission from well over 100 landowners, and that was just the start of it. But a remarkable woman decided to go for it and amazingly pulled it off, and it was beautiful. And thirdly, be ambitious, be bold, keep experimenting. And when you fail, and we all do, learn and move on. And if you know you're onto something good, stick at it. Broadcasting is littered with success stories that nearly didn't make it. Would you believe that Blackadder was nearly cancelled after its first showing? But above all, have fun. Thank you for listening, and good luck to all of you in whatever career you choose. Thank you.
Thank you, Lord Hall, for the inspiring speech. I would like to call upon our distinguished graduate, Michael Andrew Boyd, to address the congregation on behalf of those who have been presented.
Vice-Chancellor, members of the Council of the University, members of the University, graduates, award recipients, and honoured guests. Well, I'm humbled to be in such esteemed company, to have been asked to give this address. I fell in love with the sport of football around 1986 when I watched Diego Maradona lead Argentina to World Cup success. Back then, I can remember thinking, I'll go on to play in 4 FIFA World Cups for Northern Ireland, and imagine myself becoming our most capped player, and I dreamt of being the top goal scorer as well. Indeed, I actually did go on to represent the staff for a Northern Ireland team at 5 World Cups, not just FIFA World Cups, but more about that later. I first came to Ulster University as a 3-year-old. That's quite young, isn't it, to start off at uni? But I was with my mum, who was studying at the Polytechnic, as it was back then, and I remember getting my first fake student ID when she was getting her student card made up. I'm pretty sure my mum still has that ID somewhere. My mum and my brothers are my heroes, and they always encouraged me to follow my dreams in football. I eventually came to Ulster University as a sports studies student in 1995, graduating in 1999. I then completed a Master's in Communications, Advertising, and Public Relations in 2000. Also at university, every project or dissertation I wrote, I always twisted it towards football, because that was always my passion. I remember my time at the university well. I had great students. Some of the students I still work with today through Ulster Rugby and through GAA and other things that we're involved in. And we also had great lecturers as well, real characters. Again, I'm still working with some of those guys today in different capacities. The benefit of a great education like I received at UU is not necessarily in the direct learnings nor applications of your studies, but rather in the ways you've been taught to critically reflect on what you've learned and the transferability of such skills in how you approach the world, to question what you're told, to value curiosity, to understand that value systems are often relative, that the world is a complex system of scientific, social and psychological rules, norms and physical offense that guide and shape our lives both positively and sometimes negatively, and to take time to see things from the other's point of view before you act. When I reflect back to 1997, 98, I was fortunate enough to experience 2 life-changing events as a result of my undergraduate placement studies. I participated in a business education initiative and studied at Huntington College in Montgomery, Alabama, in the USA. The funny thing about that is I actually had a choice of around 70 universities, and I picked Alabama. I could have went to New York or California, but being basically a pretty ignorant 19-year-old from Belfast, I just looked up where was the hottest place and said, I'll go there. But anyway, it turned out to be a very useful trip for me. And Alabama and Huntington and Montgomery, it was the start of the civil rights movement in the US, so it was a very interesting place. It was while in Alabama that I started to recognize how sport can be used to promote respect for diversity. Actually, my two best friends while I was at that university were also foreign students from South Africa, Romeo Leisure and Ali Modiba, who I'm still friends with to this day. I actually learned a lot about the conflict in South Africa from my good friends. And while in Alabama, I also learned a lot about the racist tensions in the USA. The racism that I witnessed in Alabama opened my eyes up to the sectarianism I'd grown up with in Belfast. After Christmas '97, I went on placement to the IFA in Windsor Avenue. This was the first time that they had actually taken on a placement student, so I was the first ever placement student at the IFA. And basically, at that point in time, when I look back, I saw that the IFA were embracing community relations. And I remember my time in Montgomery with regards to the racism. And I started to plant the seeds in my mind that football actually can be used as a good hook for social good. Sitting my final master's exams, the position of community relations officer at the IFA became vacant. It was seen by many in Northern Ireland as a bit of a poison chalice, this role, but I really wanted the job. I was shortlisted for the interview, but it was being held on the same day as one of my final exams up at the Ulster University. I realized I could just make the interview if I left the exam 30 minutes early. It was a risk, but I knew I had to take it for the job I wanted. I was really lucky. I got the job and I passed the exam. I can still remember driving across town trying to get my tie on, and the actual interview itself like it was yesterday. At one point during the interview, I actually kicked out the lead from the projector because I was enthusiastically trying to present, and it was a disaster. So the other candidates must have had an absolute nightmare. At times, though, in the beginning, it was very, very tough in that role at the IFA, in the community relations officer role. Sectarianism was rife at the international matches, and it wasn't the sort of place that you would wish to bring your family. Crowds were actually as low as 4,000, and the team could not attract sponsors. At that point in 2000, they didn't even have a sponsor for the international team kit. The first game I worked at, it was April 2000 against Hungary, and there was about 4,500 people at the match, so 10,000 empty seats back then. I was taking flack from all sides of the sectarian divide for our Football for All campaign because it was quite high profile. And at one point, I actually received a written death threat to the offices. But the following projects I devised, developed, and led resulted in massive positive change. I'm going to touch on 4 key projects: Football for All, World United, Street Soccer NI, and the Let Them Play youth strategy. Through Football for All, I worked in partnership with Northern Ireland fans to transform the culture at international games and develop a programme which used football to promote respect for diversity. We set up a Football for All advisory panel, and we had the fans at the heart of that. And this led to the development of a new Football for All policy, community engagement strategy, the Safe Green, the community ticket scheme, and the Football for All awards. All of those things are a story in themselves, but needless to say, it was the start of a movement, and the success of Football for All was really the fans who were at the heart of it. My job was to listen and facilitate the discussions and try and implement change. In 2006, we won the EU and UEFA endorsed Best Supporters in Europe award, which was some achievement. And in 2013, I was invited to Brussels to present on Football for All at an international peace conference. Through World United, I used the universal power of football as a hook to welcome newly arrived communities to Northern Ireland and to tackle the issue of racism. Today, World United is a standalone community organisation, and I'm very proud of that. World United provides a safe place for people from all backgrounds to enjoy football. They provide a buddy scheme to help integrate people into existing teams, and they deliver Show Racism the Red Card workshops all over the country. In 2013, I helped set up Street Soccer NI, a charity that uses football to tackle homelessness. We now have 4 staff working on projects and 4 street leagues in Belfast and 1 street league in Derry. Street Soccer NI is a partner in the Homeless World Cup, a global movement using sport to try and end homelessness. I secured EU Erasmus funding to take the first ever Northern Ireland team to the first Homeless World Cup in Poland in 2013. In 2014, we won the plate at the Homeless World Cup in Chile. In 2016, we finished 12th in the world out of 50 international teams. In 2017, we took our first women's team to Oslo. And in 2018, Ciara Moss won Player of the Tournament, our Northern Ireland sort of talisman. And the coaches won the Best Coaches Award at the Mexico Homeless World Cup just a few weeks ago. So you see, I did make those World Cups. They just weren't the FIFA World Cups, but they were the Homeless World Cups. And on the 23rd of November, I received this message from a player who played in Mexico, a player called Danielle Donnelly. The Homeless World Cup was one of the best experiences of my life. It has given me the confidence and drive to conquer what I want in life. I'm so grateful that I had this experience with so many great people. For me, that's what these projects are all about, actually empowering and helping other people to transform their lives through football. Finally, I want to touch on Let Them Play, which is the big project of the moment, and that's basically a comprehensive youth football strategy that I developed, which has seen youth football participation rates grow from 30,000 in 2014 to close to 80,000 in 2018. So when I first came into this role as Director of Football Development, they asked me to develop 9 different plans for girls football, disability football, schools football, all these different plans. And I said, let's just make one big youth strategy. So we spent a year, we did a lot of research, and we pulled together this new strategy. And basically on the back of that, it just focused the whole team. And suddenly the primary school coaches were working with the regional grassroots development officers, and we were starting to drive more and more children to our centres. And that's where we've seen the most growth. And the area of greatest growth is girls football. It's actually increased by 50% in the last 4 years. Today, 1 in every 4 young people across Northern Ireland are involved in programmes that I've helped devise and develop through football, which is incredible. And if we actually hit our target in 2025, because it's a 10-year plan, it'll be 1 in every 3 kids. At the heart of Let Them Play is a target to get more girls and women playing football. I'm proud to say we've increased girls' youth participation dramatically. And we've also got a female football leadership program in place as well. So our youth strategy is from 4 to 24. So we thought it was really important actually to create more role models. So we employed a couple of women football ambassadors, our current captain and our most capped out field player. And we also put in place a female football leadership program, which is actually creating future leaders. The current chairperson of the Northern Ireland Women's FA is a former graduate of our program, and the one before as well. So we're actually making a big difference already. Indeed, I'm very proud that our first Performance Academy partnership is with Ulster University, and it's for women only. At home, I'm surrounded by strong women with my beautiful wife, Kathy, and my beautiful daughters, Rachel and Olivia. Family means everything to me, and I'm deeply committed to leaving a lasting legacy in football that paves the way for girls and women to achieve their dreams in football. Underpinning all the projects I've worked on over the last 18 years is the promotion of football for all, the guiding principles of which are creating a fun, safe and inclusive culture. I believe it was my calling actually to use sport as a hook to serve the community, challenge racism, sectarianism and sexism. I think the key word there is to serve, and I think if you're following your passion and you can combine that with serving the community, you're on to a winner. It's not easy following your passion. It's not an easy ride. It requires incredible stamina, focus, and rigor. You must think left of field, very far ahead, and be very in the moment all at the same time. You must be a diplomat and dictator all at once. It can often feel like a slightly schizophrenic endeavour. 10 years ago, I managed a small community relations team of 3 at the IFA, and now I manage 80 staff and lead the Irish FA Foundation, the charitable arm of the IFA that I set up in 2016. This year I also set up the Northern Ireland World Football Forum on LinkedIn, and people from Northern Ireland are changing the face of world football. I currently have more than 60 members on this group, working from places like Juventus to Sheffield United to the Premier League to UEFA and FIFA. The opportunities are out there, and people from Northern Ireland are doing it. My advice to everyone here today is dare to dream, follow your passion, be true to yourself. My favourite mantra is work hard, have fun and make a positive difference. And most of all, please, please, please trust your gut. You will most often instinctively know the truth of a thing, even when those instincts are telling you something you don't really want to hear. Trust your gut. It's a brain that knows stuff. The clever, articulate brain inside your skull might try to frame the world in a way that feels more comfortable to you, but your gut rarely lies. Trust it. It will be your greatest, truest friend across the span of your life. I want to thank the university again for honouring me as the recipient of this year's Distinguished Graduate Award. I am really humbled to receive it, and actually thought it was a wind-up right up until today. And may I finish by congratulating each of you on your achievements today. I wish you all the luck, health and happiness in the world. As your life unfolds before you, let me urge you to be humble and open to learning. Pay attention to the context of your life. Be kind, have fun, and remember to be brave. Please remember, we're only on this planet for a very brief moment, so make sure you make a positive impact. Believe in yourself and look after yourself. Thanks again, best of luck for the future, and please never stop following your dreams.
Thank you very much, Michael. Now I'm going to call upon Lindsay Miller, a new graduate in the Faculty of Arts, Humanities and Social Sciences, to propose a vote of thanks.
Vice-Chancellor, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Lindsay Miller and today I graduated with my Master's degree in Communications and Public Relations, and by day I am the Mayor of Mid and East Antrim Borough Council. I'm very proud and very privileged to speak to you today on behalf of everyone who's graduating. Our degree certificates are a very tangible demonstration of hard work, effort and dedication. Of course, behind that very rewarding, very special and eagerly anticipated parchment lies every part of our experience at Ulster University. It is that experience that shapes our future prospects and potential. Our studies, the relevance of the knowledge and life skills that we have acquired, the confidence that we have gained, and the firm friendships we have made. We have managed the challenges of completing our studies with our ambitions firmly fixed on the opportunities that will lie ahead of us as an Ulster University graduate. I would like to thank my fellow students. We each worked hard. However, the determination to see each other succeed is as special to me as our individually earned degrees. Graduating today, it's encouraging to know that Ulster alumni are leading, contributing, inspiring and influencing far and wide. Through the alumni networks, we can learn from those who have gone before us, and the alumni programmes and services on offer enable us to stay connected and supported as we embark upon fresh challenges and opportunities. Ulster University is a place where knowledge is created, generated, shared and brought to life. We leave here as assured and well-equipped graduates, ready to fulfil our career ambitions. The knowledge and attributes that we have acquired in our time here will in turn shape and influence others in the many and varied paths that each of us here today will now choose to take. We remain ambassadors for the university, proud to tell others of the doors it can open and possibilities it presents. On behalf of my fellow students and friends here today, I would like to take this opportunity to thank our families and friends who've supported and encouraged us in our university career. Of course, our lecturers and support staff are right at the heart of our time at Ulster University, and we thank them all for their inspiration, understanding and guidance. So thank you all for being part of this very special occasion, a celebration for everyone, not just for those of us graduating, but for all who play a part in harnessing potential and shaping bright futures. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, Lindsay. We're now reaching the end of our graduation ceremony. This is the last opportunity that family can congratulate the new graduates and that graduates can say thank you to the family. So I'd really like you to raise the roof and offer each other thanks and support. Very well done. I declare this graduation ceremony closed and invite the new graduates to join the academic procession.